And then look how he do it. He don't no countdown dukes. He just
Man,
gets his feelings and run off. Nevertheless, it don't matter. We don't need a heads up. It's Deuce's Scoop. It's yours truly, Uncle Neely. It is Big Dog Chico in his technology feelings today. It is the morning run. We got a lot to talk about. Utah, man, what a beatdown. We also got Coach Carl Reed joining us today, and it's his birthday. It's the morning run.
yo,
Yo. We got to wait a minute, man. There was, a lot of other folks is in that other room, Chico. I mean, Dukes.
yeah, it was. They didn't get the memo.
Yeah, they'll come on over.
Hey, but I know
They'll
one
come on
thing.
over. They were,
Oh, I don't know what kind of camera you got. But that mother super clear.
yeah, I'm using my external camera. Oh, let me tell the chat to come on over here. Yeah, using my not the GoPro. What this thing called? DJI something, man. I got that hooked to the laptop.
But hey, that ain't no old school Nokia phone. I know that. Hey, boy, that's a camera.
And that thing will move with me too.
Hello. Yeah. Hey, that's hard.
Yeah, they coming on in here now, man. We're gonna get this thing started. Sorry about the technological issues. Had to reboot. StreamYard was acting up. Shout out to StreamYard because as Chico has often reminded us, Dukes, StreamYard costs.
It ain't free. It ain't free.
No, StreamYard costs.
Man, what if it ain't work because Chico used the free version and he pocketing that money too?
Dukes, one of the things you said that was key is you said two, as in addition, as in also. Because we know he pocketed that merch money.
Man,
We know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. What merch?
I be like, Chico, how ain't nothing left?
Not a dollar.
Somebody bought something.
Oh, I know what that was. That was a change the subject screen pull. That wasn't no technical difficulty. That was Chico saying, "Hey man, y'all gonna stop talking about me." All right, Big Red, Cheekbo, no problem.
Chico, that's my merch. It's Monday morning, man. Y'all welcome to the morning run. When you get onto this page, sorry about the technical difficulties. Y'all make sure you check in, tap in. We were conversating, Dukes and I, in the chat with a lot of folks over there. Tampa was in the building. Memphis 10 was in the building. North Kakalaka was in the building. Y'all keep on coming to this new link and checking in. Dukes,
Yo,
lot to talk about, man, in the sports world. Of course, we know we're going to get to Colorado football and that embarrassing performance that took place on their road trip to Utah, but so much other things to get to as we wait on Coach Carl Reed to join us to really dive into college football. Let's go a little basketball first, Chico, Dukes. No LeBron, no Luca. Austin Reeves says, shit, no problem, give me the ball. Austin Reeves put 51 on him.
man. Hey, listen, man. When it comes down to it, AR-15, we knew there was a reason why in each of these trade scenarios that we've been hearing over the past few years, there was even a time where they were talking about Austin Reeves to Atlanta and Trae Young to the Lakers and Austin Reeves would have to be included. Well, it would seem like that would be a no-brainer, but the Lakers have always been reluctant to add Austin Reeves in any package they have to bring in another superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why, because they know and they knew they had the foresight to understand that he has this type of capability, even if it means getting rid of other players like a Dalton Connect or someone who you felt like had that type of capability. They know who Austin Reeves is, and they truly believe in him. And it's games like this that lets them know that, hey, we were right. And if we could get him to develop at the rate that we know he can while LeBron is still in the league with the Luka, this can be a dangerous team.
Yeah, it can be, because you were really looking for all right, who's truly going to be that third option? They brought in a big man, and his finesse or touch around the basket is lacking. And when you look at the age of LeBron, Luka certainly not so much an age issue, but you don't want to just wear him down carrying all the load when LeBron may have to sit. You have found that guy, and I think you're spot on, Chico. I mean, Dukes, as we talk about Chico's Lakers, they knew they had that guy. They see it in practice. They see it in workouts. They see some things that we're not privy to just by watching ESPN or NBA on TNT, now on ESPN. And they were like, no, we as you call it, we not letting the AR-15 go. This is a shooter.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm happy for him, man. What a great story. Someone who came in unheralded, called his shot to get to the Lakers, and it's worked out for him. And a lot of times you don't see guys who come in like he does or like he did and do what he's been doing in the league on the larger stage. Like, the lights don't get any brighter than they do in LA with the Lakers. So for him to be able to do what he's been doing, I think it's just a testament to hard work and grind, and I'm glad they got the W.
Absolutely. We're going to move around a little bit today. Like we said, we got Coach Carl Reed will be joining us as we transition in to college football, namely this Utah fiasco that took place with the Colorado Buffaloes in that road trip. As we go around the country before we get back around here to Boulder, let's take a quick stop in the ATL and talk about your Falcons, Dukes. What up?
Man, look, I'm going to ride with them, man.
I love it.
I stay with them. But, man, I don't know if so a lot of people had a problem with Raheem Morris getting that job in the first place. And I think it's one of those things where in Atlanta we get so caught up with things outside of football or sports that we forget to keep the main thing the main thing. When Keisha Lance Bottoms was the mayor, the T-shirts that were going around was Atlanta got a mayor named Keisha. That's what we were happy about. That's what we were excited about. All right, cool. Raheem becomes the Falcons coaches. Atlanta got a coach named Raheem. Oh, man, we so excited. Bro, hey, man, I tell you what, right now, the same people who are happy to have a coach named Raheem are telling, hey, buddy, you and them capri pants can get up out of here. That's how they feel right now.
I thought they were capri pants.
You and them capris can go, buddy. And it's not Coach Raheem. It's not Coach Morris. It's Buddy. Hey, man, Buddy on the way he doing. He got to go. So now at this point, when you lose a game like this with $100 million backup, Kirk Cousins is still on the roster. He wasn't traded. And now you probably lost all of the trade value that you had for him with a dismal performance. But then you got to look at it, and I see some similarities to the game that we saw this weekend. You start to look and you say, all right, how much of this is the player? How much of this is the coaching? Like, what is it the scheme? Like, what you're looking for, where it went wrong for a 1-6 Miami team to come in and really spank you at the crib. It was a lot of upset Falcons fans. There still are. It's so bad that people not even really we got a ton of content creators in Atlanta. And the numbers on the content creation for the Falcons is low because we're starting to get same old Falcons. Usually you see people come in with that youthful exuberance and say, oh, man, the season is young. This could be the year. You beat Buffalo. Falcons to the Super Bowl. Then you go out and you lay – and the way that you've played the last couple of weeks. And now, shoot, we don't know how long Mike Penix is out. We know it ain't Kirk Cousins. And then even if Mike Penix comes back, you play so poorly against the 49ers, this looks like another team destined to have a high first-round pick. And guess what? You already traded your first-round pick for next year. This could get ugly in Atlanta and fast.
Yeah, and the cool part about it, though, too, Deuce, it could get pretty real fast, too. You said, you don't know how long Penix is going to be out. You got a lot of the question marks, where you can still say if this was a stock, it's time to buy versus sell. But you can't look past the glaring issues that a Miami team came in there and did what they did. Thankfully, though, Deuce, a lot of football left to play in Atlanta, and the ship can be righted because it's not like Carolina and the Saints are running away with that thing.
Well, they up on us. Well, Carolina for sure. They up on us. Beat us 30-0. Krispy Kreme Dunkin' Donut. Yeah. With Michael Penix. I mean, that's bad when we looking forward. When That was a win that we counted going into the season. And you ain't just lose, you got beat. And guess what? The last time they came to Atlanta, they beat us like that. Like the Panthers, I don't know if they got our number or what, but they've been taking advantage of this series lately. And the last 2 victories have gone to Carolina. So maybe you count on the Saints. But the way the Falcons looked yesterday, I don't know. That's not a game. And that's a rivalry game. We just don't know. Yeah, man. So I propose that the Falcons do what they should have been done a long time ago when they tore down them churches to build both stadiums. Now when they built the dome again this time, more churches had to go. Let them folks come in there on Sunday, have revival early. You let Kanye West come in there and record an album. You can let the church people come in there, have a little revival or something. Get right with the people that you need to get right with, aka the man upstairs, and maybe the Falcons can get to the point where they're supposed to get. But it's been craziness ever since they did that. That's the conspiracy theory for the real Falcons fans. If you from Atlanta, you know.
Hey man, really ain't never been nothing good coming out of messing with no black church, no church period, but there's no black church in the South. So I can't say that might not be a conspiracy theory. That might be science.
For sure, man.
Yeah, that might be science.
Coach, what about them Cowboys?
Oh man, it's that fifth leg in that parlay, and you don't hit the first 4, and somehow they just fall down. Here about my Cowboys, man. Here's one of the things I do love about the Cowboys. First, let me say this about Chico. Chico don't never want to talk about the Cowboys till they lose. Whenever we win, he skip over it.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute we lose, the first thing come out of his mouth. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, he ain't got no team. But we put that to the side for a second. You had it was a quality opponent, man. I can't take anything away from the Broncos. A lot of people, waiting on that sophomore jinx for Bo Nix. That really hadn't happened yet. They have one of the better, if not the best defense in the NFL. They're certainly leading the NFL in sacks. But here's the opportunity. Much like I talked about the bright side for the Falcons, looking at the bright side for the Cowboys, man, Dak is having one of his best years ever. Mm-hmm. Like Coach Prime be trying to tell people, make sure at the end of the day we can't say it's you. It ain't him. It ain't him.
Right.
He playing some major ball, but with the errors and mistakes on defense, and I'm gonna play like special teams doesn't exist for a second. With defense being half the game, we losing half the games. It's not the Michael trade. I tell you that as far as defense goes, because you brought in some pieces that have gotten you just about the same amount of production that you would have had with that one player. James Houston, shout out to James Houston, came from Florida to Jackson State under Coach Prime, having a hell of a year. It's that back end, man, like giving up too many big plays over the top. But again, that gives you that opportunity with CeeDee Lamb and others that put you right back in the game where you should be. So here's the challenge. I talked about your Falcons and that the rest of the division is not running away with it. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight, man, because not just the NFC East. Where do you find that wild card spot if you are 8-8, 8-1 or whatever? Where do you find that spot? Because other NFC teams is crowded.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good teams in the NFC. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the standings real quick. Let's look at the NFC standings. I'm gonna pull that up. And as I do that, so you got the Eagles standing at 6-2. You got the Cowboys and the Commanders both at 3-4. Well, actually, the Cowboys at 3-4-1. That's just the NFC East. When you go and you look at the rest of the NFC, where you've got, all right, so you got the Eagles at the top of their division at 62. The Packers, the Lions, the Bears, all with winning records. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the Bucks at 62. And surprisingly, the Panthers are 4-4.
So that's what I'm saying.
And then
when
you got the NFC West, the juggernaut of the conferences this year is the NFC West, and that's the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. The Rams are the worst team, are the second to worst, are the third worst team in the NFC West, which lets you know how strong they are this year. So, I mean, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, Buccaneers, Packers, Lions, Eagles. I don't see any room.
That's my point. Like
Yep.
you could have your quarterback with the best year of his career, arguably MVP year, and there's still no space for you to get in.
Yep. It's tough, and it just lets you know how important the entire. You got to play complementary football.
Yep.
So if your quarterback's going off, man, you got to have a defense that's willing to do something. What they say in the movie, did you at least pinch the? Like,
yeah, we about to get in that now as we go to college football, because we got to talk about Utah, and we did not at least pinch. But before we do, we got to bring on our man, Coach Reeves, one half of the big boys. Y'all know him from all over the world, recruiting extraordinaire, talent evaluating extraordinaire. He just straight up knows ball. But more importantly, Dukes, today is his birthday. Happy birthday, my brother.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, my brother.
The young OG, for sure.
Appreciate you, too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know how at 25 years old he got all that gray and a state championship on his belt, but he has accomplished a lot in these short 25 years on this planet.
Hey, man, I wish it was 25. I wish I could rewind the clock back to 25. But you know what? I was talking to a partner of mine the other day, and I said, I'm getting old. He said, well, there is an alternative to getting old.
Hello?
So we appreciate the growth and the ability to continue to add years on the clock.
Man, no doubt about it. There's certainly, you see this, I ain't gonna diet, I ain't gonna cut it. It is what it is. Because like you said, I could be laying somewhere in the box and the gray stops then.
But Neely, what I do need from you as a birthday gift, I need the Neely's beard oil.
Let me tell you what, you got something coming for your birthday.
I need the Neely's beard oil. We going into No Shave November, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I need the Neely's beard oil.
I assure you got something coming. And I would promise you some merch, but we got to struggle with Big Red Chico that I don't know if I can send you no merch right now because his office hours are from 9 to 5 and he ain't been meeting with us.
Hey, man. Hey, Chico look like he on the disabled list today.
He gonna be if we don't get our money.
Coach, count that money.
Coach, we got to talk a little football.
And can't even be sick in the background, man. Just stay in the background. But all right, Coach Carl Reed, happy birthday! I just wanted to come on and say happy birthday, big.
Thank you, my brother. You look like you're not feeling well, man. I'm
not at all, dog. Not at all.
I'm sending you some well wishes, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You up in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah. What?
Coach, let me put you on a little game real quick, if I may. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but he hopped on the screen. I do a Sunday night show with Chico. Mm-hmm. Chico was fired last night. Chico got off the show early, he said, because he finna go out and start celebrating his birthday, because his birthday Wednesday. So he finna go out with some people and he had dinner, and now he's showing for work sick.
Well, he up there with all them island women, man. So you never know, they got a lot going on up there, man. It's a lot of things, man. You drink the wrong thing, you eat the wrong thing.
Yeah, now we talking.
Or you eat the wrong person.
Now we talking.
That's a lie.
It can get tricky.
Because somebody in the chat, Chico, they asked, were you still tied up? And they spell tie like Thailand. I didn't see who it was, but they said, is Chico still tied up?
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's all he said. Man.
What's up, man? Let's talk, Coach. What's up, Coach?
Let's do it. Chico, Coach, Dukes. They got this thing in the English language called a gerund, and it's when a word ends with ing. Let me throw some gerunds at y'all. Embarrassing, humiliating. It was I can think of a whole bunch of them, Coach. Like, there is no way in your mind, and I talked with Coach Prime about this, when you look at the way this team prepared in a regular week of practice and then what was essentially a bye week of practice, you didn't see one thing at practice, not one thing in any phase of the game that would make you think what happened in Utah was even a remote possibility. But nevertheless, we get there and all three phases don't show up. Coaching, as Coach Prime even attests to, doesn't show up. And it's 43-0 at halftime. You ended up being able to get 7 and keep them from accelerating the math in the back half of the game. But it ended up being a 53-7 ball game to a conference opponent. I don't know where to begin. You help me out, Coach Carl Reed.
Up,
You don't know
see,
what to
now,
do.
see,
He go back there.
technical difficulties.
No words.
Had nothing to do with me.
No, I think you
Nah.
did.
Blame it on the cheek. Got you feeling?
I think you
Go ahead,
did.
Coach. What's happening?
Just I turned it over to you, Chico hung up on you, Coach.
Hey, he knew I was going to ask him about his whereabouts and what had been going on up in the islands, man.
But I was kicking it to you for this, your assessment takeaways on the many failures that took place in Utah.
Well, not a lot went right. So you can go into a lot of places. Number one, run defense, right? 400 yards on the ground rushing for Utah against us. 400 yards rushing. So if you can't stop the run, you don't give yourself a chance to compete at all. On the other side of the ball, the pressure, blitzing every play, the different blitz packages that would come and didn't get picked up well. So when you just think about football in the simplest form, if you're talking blocking and tackling, being the key components of the game, completely dominated in both of those phases from an offensive line, from a front standpoint on both sides, playing the box. You don't give yourself a chance at all when you can't address the box.
Absolutely.
I love that assessment. You went into this game knowing that they were going to be a run team. Their average was leading the conference at 240. Our average in giving up was around 220. You were hoping that you keep them around their average or below it or close to what we've been doing because we've been in games, even though giving up 200 is far too many. But to give up 400 plus on the ground, you really just mathematically, from a time of possession, take yourself out of it. And even with two of those runs being 50, 60-yard runs that were for touchdowns, were for scores. And I'm with you on the other side. I saw a lot of people in the chat over the weekend, saying about changing the quarterbacks. And when you look at the blitz package that was coming that was never getting picked up, I don't know what that was going to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put a young quarterback in against that type of situation. Quarterback is very delicate, and you got an opportunity when you do that. You can ruin a guy's confidence, man, by putting him in a situation like that. We know Kyle Whittingham at Utah. He's been a great coach for a long time, great program, but he's a defensive-minded guy. And they brought they brought a ton of pressure, man, and they got home on all of it for the most part. So you got to look at the front play on both sides. That has to be improved going into the next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. When you look at the run game and how to stop the run fundamentally, where's the first place you go? Like, what's the first thing you say? All right, we gave up 400 yards. Where do you start as a coach? If it was your squad, where would you start to fix the problem?
Well, number one, you got to make sure that you run fit everything, and by run fit meaning whether you're in a 4-down front or a 3-down front, you got to secure the A, B, and the C gaps from the front box, right? Mm-hmm. And then for anything that's a D gap run or from outside the tackle to outside the tight end, your safeties and your nickel have to know exactly how to fit. So if the coverage doesn't match the front, or if a route combination is run, or RPO look is given, so it takes a safety kind of out of the box as well, or out of his proper run fit, then you got guys getting creased and running through the gap. So what you want to always look at when you stop the run is how are you fitting it? How are you fitting it against 12 personnel? How are you fitting it against 11? How do you fit the run against 10 personnel? Everything comes down to how you fit the run and how you apply your safeties and employ your safeties also is run support guys.
Yeah, and Coach, one of the bright spots that we've had all season long for this team has been special teams. And then you have a game where the offense, defense, nor special teams showed up. And so it's just, it was almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. You had kicks go out of bounds. You had punts being blocked. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. The only category that we performed well or won in this game was penalties. We only had 2 penalties for 15 yards. Utah had buku penalties, didn't matter because everything else was just rolling in their favor. And, one thing I said about it and say again and again and again, there's just no situation where you forecast or put yourself in a position that a conference opponent, has a 43-0 lead on you. That's just not something, that typically happens. And when you look at it from a 30,000-foot view, there was nothing that happened at practice, such as dire injuries or lack of schematics or lack of energy at practice. There was no forebearer to tell you that this is what was going to happen at Utah. So this is one of those ones you really, now the turd may be big, and it may have to take a couple of times to flush your Dukes, but you really have to flush this one and move on, because as you sit there now with 3 wins instead of what could have been 4, you got 4 games in November, 2 on the road, 2 at home. And if you want to go bowling, you got to win 3 of the next 4 games, and that starts with this home win with Arizona coming in.
Yeah, it's. I'm going to tell you what you have to do. You know what you have to get done, and it's not an easy lift, because we've had inconsistent quarterback play throughout the season. We defensively at different times we've missed in some key spots. So you have to decide. I think as a football player, I was talking to a young group of high school kids the other day, and I think this resonates with guys at every level. Is how bad do you really want to play football?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point it has to be a desire and a want to by you. When you come out and you play Iowa State, who was a top 25 team, and you beat them, you showed a tremendous amount of want to in that game. The game was played with a tremendous amount of effort, but you have to be able, as a football player or as any person in life, get yourself to come out and do that again and again and again and over and over and over again. And really, I think that every man, has to search his own soul, right? And you got to look at the man in the mirror and decide how important is it to you? Because all the time we talking to high school kids that say they want to play Division I football, or you talking about college kids that say they want to go and play in the National Football League. Your play has to mirror that. Like, the effort that you give has to mirror that. If I took a bunch of guys and asked them what they do best, a lot of them will say that they play football the best. And then you have to put their tape in and see, does that add up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you have a loss like this that you got to flush, like it, how would your next practice look? You already feel the pressure of the loss. Is it louder? Is it more like listen? Or is it more film watch? Where do you attack first to attempt to flush this loss?
Well, first I identify, do I feel like we got beat because we got manhandled, or did we get beat because we got out schemed? So if there's a schematic problem, we have to address those, but we have to very quickly turn the page to the next page, because this is high level football. So you don't really have time to lick your wounds about what happened with Utah. You got to get ready for Arizona. And Arizona's going to come in, and you have to realize that they're going to come in with the intentions on really trying to beat you, right? Like, you still are a draw on everybody's schedule that they want to win. And so you have to make that decision for yourself. So I'm going in, I'm worrying about my schematics. I'm worrying about making sure that my fits are correct and that I got the right people in place. And then Arizona has a good quarterback in Noah Fafita. He's a guy that's going to complete passes and extend plays. So we got to be prepared to play to the whistle against a guy like that. Effort is, and you got to play with effort. You got to play with a motor. You got to play with some desire and some want to. That's going to be a key component in the game.
And I'll take it back, Dukes, to the halftime speech and even the post game speech, and all the way to this morning's pre-practice message from Coach Prime, was that just what Coach Reeves was touching on there is like, guys, this was the theme at halftime. It's like, this has to be about some pride now. This has to be about going out there and winning the third and the fourth quarter. Forget winning the game. Like, you got to show you here to play football. Like, you got to shift your mindset, because that's absolutely embarrassing. And he put the same pressure conversation on the coaches, to do better in that second half. And please, when you look at that second half, please don't think that Utah stopped trying to score. They were still trying to score, but what you had was a group of guys who, even though it was 43-0, did not quit, because had you quit, it would have been 86-0. And so when you look at how the game ended up, you got to take that as a positive. As big as that turd was, you got to take that part of it as a positive. Post game, same kind of talk about developing true leaders on this team and getting some guys out there that want to make the effort, that know how to bounce back from adversity. And this message this morning from Coach Prime, came from Ecclesiastes, and you talked about, even the Bible tells you when you put your hands on something, you got to do the best you can with it, because there's going to come a day that you ain't going to be able to do a damn thing. And that's when you're in the grave. So while we're here living and we're claiming to be football players and we claim to be football coaches, look at yourself in the mirror as a staff, as a coach, as a player, and are you giving this your all? Because one thing we know for a fact, that he touched on this post game and he touched on today, you have given everybody else these last 4 games, including chiefly Arizona, the next one, you have given them the blueprint. They watched the game. They saw where we failed at, and you better believe they're going to try the same damn things. And so it's in front of us. The goal for the season was to go to the Big 12 championship. That mathematically is not going to happen, but you still have bowl eligibility in front of you, and that can happen. And you have to play with a sense of pride, a sense of urgency. You have to move through this building with a sense of urgency, and you still have to go back to what is Coach Reeves, you've heard this in all your coaching days, and all the players have heard it as well. Try to go 1-0 each week, and that's really the only choice you got, because if you don't get 3 of these next 4, you will not be playing in December.
And you got to take them one at a time.
One at a time.
You got to worry about Arizona, and you got to put all your energy into that, and then you got to turn the page from week to week. You got to focus on that. The first
and
thing
I say this to you, Coach, pardon interruption, but to that point, the meeting this morning started off with Utah, and there may have been about 5 to 10 minutes of film where each coordinator got up to talk about what went wrong from a coaching schematic standpoint to a player execution standpoint. And then once that was done, it's on to Arizona, because as you touched on when you were talking to Dukes there, you don't have time in college football to spend 2 or 3 days fixing why you lost a team, when you got to get ready for another team that's coming in that's a totally different ball game, like literally and figuratively. So it is literally on to Arizona, and it's 1 week at a time. You're not looking ahead to that trip to West Virginia. You're not looking ahead to that bye week in between. And then when you have Arizona State coming in the trip to Kansas, you have to be totally focused on Arizona right now.
Absolutely.
Can I ask our resident coach a question? I don't know whether I was off or not. You probably answer this, but when you're getting blitzed like that and they're being successful getting to the quarterback, who is that mostly on? Is that on the quarterback? Is that on the play caller? Is that on the offensive line? And what do you address at practice when you know that the other team is going to try to use that same game plan?
Well, it can be a combination of all 3, right? So, number 1, you have to be able to identify as the quarterback who is the hot read. The offensive line has to what's called Mike ID. So we got the offensive line has to be able to take care of the 4 down and 1 backer. That's your 5 for 5, right? So if you bring a 6 pass rusher, which Utah did a lot of, you bring in 1 more guy that they can block, then that has to either be a running backs guy or the quarterback has to be throwing off of that guy. So they did a great job of movement and moving it from side to side, they brought pressure in the middle, they brought pressure from both sides. So identifying where the blitz is coming from, I think is the first thing. And that's got to be coach and offensive line, and then figuring out how you want to attack those blitzes. You got to be able to vacate and occupy, which means we got to be able to throw routes where that blitzer is coming from. And you have to be able to identify that and replace those guys. So you're replacing a blitzer with a route runner, and that's how you burn it. But you have to be able to catch and make the throws and feel comfortable in that situation. That's what Shedeur excelled at.
Yeah,
I said exactly that.
Go ahead, Chico. Not you, back with us.
I was just going to say, I think that's exactly what I said during the live stream. I think it showed how well Shedeur was at the line of scrimmage and making those adjustments and seeing where the blitzes are coming from and throwing hot routes off of that, or either making an audible call from the call that was called in from the offensive coordinator. So I think it showed how much Shedeur was prepared and was able to make those adjustments. And these young quarterbacks have to be able to do that also, I think.
I was telling this to somebody the other day. I don't expect them to be prepared the way Shador was because Shador has been being trained to be a quarterback since he could walk, right? So you're talking about, 22 years of development and training and mental
And
capacity.
Tom Brady coming by your house.
Yeah, Tom Brady coming in your house and working with you. You being able to work out with Peyton Manning. You got a private quarterback coach like Daryl Colbert. It's a lot there. So any quarterback that you get that you come in from there is not going to have that same type of preparation. He wasn't prepared in the same way. So at times you have to be able to meet that kid where he's at. And he might not be able to handle the full menu of things that Shador can handle, right? But you have to be able to figure out the way to excel at what that person can do.
Exactly.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah,
So,
I just think that at the end of the day, man, it's about who's on this roster.
Right.
Clearly Shador was a great guy and could do some great things and showed that he excelled under pressure. But when you look at a 43-0 halftime or look at the final score, and I know every time, man, when there's a loss, everybody got to try to find that one guy to put it on. You don't lose 43-0 because of one guy. You don't lose 43-0 because of one scheme or one coach. And that was just like you have team wins, that was a team loss. Were there some plays where Salter could have, would have, should have done this? Yes. That only erased 400 yards on the ground from the defense gave up. That don't erase a punt getting blocked. There's so much things to go around when you look at this, the way this loss accumulated and just kept on accumulating. Shout out to the staff at the half who really just locked in themselves and with the players and said, look, we can't have a second half like we had that first half. Like these are our names, our reputations, the school we represent, everything that we can pour in, we got to pour in this second half and play this second half. Because this has clearly gotten away, and it was one of those historic losses. This loss is going to be brought up every time these teams play 20 years from now.
Yeah, what you have to do, obviously you've been seeing what's going on in coaching with a lot of the coaching changes around the country, and when in this business, the pressure is going to always be there. So, no, you don't point the finger to one guy in the room and say, well, it's your fault that we lost like this. But we do got to come in here together and we got to find some solutions, right? We do have to be solution oriented, not blame oriented, right? So at the end of the day, can you put your pride and your ego to the side and accept correction and direction, right? And I think that becomes a very critical piece in the development of any coach.
Hey, Coach,
I love what I saw and heard from the coaches and the players this morning in that regard, Coach Reed. That this morning's meeting was not a blame game.
Right. Oops.
Hey, Coach, I was going to ask you, what do you think of route-wise, what's a quarterback's best friend against a zero blitz? So when I went back and I watched, I did see, and while I was watching live, I said, oh, where are the slants? Where are the drags? But then when I went back and I watched and I said, oh, they call slot fade. So, and depending on who you ask, slot fade is just as good of a zero blitz killer as a slant. Where are you when it comes to being a quarterback's best friend against the blitz as far as routes go?
Slot fade is a good throw against a cover zero. I don't know if it's a great call against a cover zero blitz, right? Because the pressure's coming. And it still takes a little long to develop that, and it's a lower percentage route. But you got to be able to back shoulder it from an accuracy standpoint. So can he drop it and throw it off the back shoulder? I don't know if that's this quarterback's strength, right? So anything that if they're blitzing and bringing pressure, you want to run routes that are coming back across his face, not going away from his sight of vision, because he's seeing the blitzer. So if the blitzer is coming at him, and then he has to turn to look to the outside to find the route runner, that's a more difficult throw than if you're bringing the route across his vision, right? When the blitz is coming, then he can see the blitz, and then he sees his route coming into the picture and running right behind it. So anything in breaking, ends, short digs, cross mesh is a great route for cover zero man beaters. And then you want to also get your perimeter screen game. involved because perimeter screens can slow down the bits. And then in the run game, you want to be able to use jet motion because jet motion destroys run fits. So if you run in jet motion and you faking the jet so that guy's a threat to have the ball, and then you're also running mesh routes or inverted routes behind the jet motion, that can create confusion for the defense, and it'll give you a couple guys to hit as well.
Yeah, and coach, I'm not talking about late second quarter or third or fourth quarter when this thing was just quote unquote mathematically and clockwise out of reach. I'm talking about first quarter. We got to learn in the first quarter that even if you're down 7-10 or 17-0, that short pass underneath is instead of trying to come back just on one pass, which is making it a more difficult throw, that you can still have time to methodically move the ball down the field. And so there's sometimes that 4-yard route right there where the guy's sitting in the green grass is much better than trying to execute that 18-yard pass. And sometimes we gave up what was right there underneath that could be a intermediate yardage success and keep the chains moving for something deeper that just didn't materialize. So that's that. But again, that's part of that opportunity and thought process that even when the blitz is coming your way and you see it and you got two receivers on that same side of the field, it's okay to choose the shorter one versus the longer one.
Well, the shorter one also helps you too because you keep control of the ball. You possess the football.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to possess the football because that's really the only way you can play complementary football. So if you get into a 17-7 game or 21-7 and you down, a lot of guys go straight to the air because they're trying to hit you with a big play to catch up in one score. But anytime that you go 3 and out and you only take 11 seconds off the clock, or you go 3 and out and you lose 21 seconds, right, off the clock, then all you're doing is giving the other team an extra 4 to 5 possessions to also score on you, and that's what widens the gap. So a big part of playing complementary football is saying, I want to lower my possessions to also lower the defensive possessions. And then in the fourth quarter, when it's 6 or 7 minutes left, I'm 1 score away, maybe even if I'm 2, I'm in a position where I can win a football game at the end. But playing complementary football is also about taking care of the ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coach, we're going to pivot to some other schools around the nation, but first and foremost, last time we had you on, we talked about the number of job openings that were coming, and we had another one. Chico, move the box around, man. I'm trying to get out from behind that damn logo up there. You can shake your head all you want to. I bet you move it. Yeah, okay. All right, watch.
Oh boy!
Well, I think Coach was going. I think Uncle Neely was going to ask you about the LSU opening.
I was.
Okay.
I was going to ask you about the LSU job and what else do you see on the horizon out there?
LSU, obviously, you know what the expectation at LSU is: national championship, right?
Absolutely.
8 wins will get you statues in some places and get you fired at others, right? So when you go to LSU and you take $100 million, you know what the expectation is, and so you went into the season with high hopes. You made a decision at offensive coordinator with Coach Sloan, and you got a guy that people think is a potential first round in Nussmeier, and it just never materialized for LSU. So sometimes, and I know there's a lot of reports coming out, people saying negative things about Coach Kelly. I had a great relationship with Coach Kelly when I was a high school coach. He always treated me with respect. He treated our program with a tremendous amount of respect. So I don't have anything to say negative about him. Sometimes, though, guys, it just doesn't work. Sometimes you put something together, you put a plan together, it's the way that you've always won, and it doesn't work. I know Coach Kelly, most of his experiences up north and in the Midwest. In the South is a different ball game. There was a Big Ten coach that I know really well that was talking about possibly looking at one of the jobs in the SEC, and I just said to him, "Man, it's a different world. Like
Different world.
It's just not the same world that you used to, right? Not to be mistaken with Mr. Cosby's different world television
Different world.
series, but The SEC, man, is it's a if you ain't never been in it, if you haven't had to deal with that environment consistently, the phrase that they have, it just means more. It does, right? And so they're going to get somebody in there that they think gives them an opportunity to win it. Now, you got to realize the three coaches before Brian Kelly all won national championships.
Mm.
Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron. And Les Miles and Ed Orgeron both also were fired after winning national championships.
Correct.
So when you think about that, you know the pressures that come with a job like that. They expect to win. And when guys want to say they're going to coach, can you coach in an do you have the skin and the toughness to coach in an environment where they expect you to win every week, and when you don't, they're going to treat you as such? You know, I think that people have to decide that before they take a job like that. If you go to LSU, anything less than the national championship, they're going to consider it a failure. And so you got to understand that. Now, when they put $100 million on the table, I don't know too many reasonable men that would walk away from $100 million. So you got to go down there and give it a shot if they want you.
Yeah, no matter where they where the coaching is at, 100 million, you
Yeah.
got to consider it, dog.
I mean, at the end of the day, he can literally afford to wipe his tears if he's disappointed with $100 bills with a 50. Was it $54 million buyout? What was
Yeah.
that buyout again, Chico?
Whatever it
54.
is, they can be like Big Meech in the club in Atlanta back in the early 2000s and throwing hundreds and fifties out.
$53.8 million buyout. And shout out to James Franklin with the $49 million buyout. And one I did not see was Willie Taggart, my boy Willie with the $18 million. Hey, boy. I mean, and we always talk about, and Coach, this is something I definitely have been wanting to ask you. We always talk about how it's hard to feel bad for somebody who loses a job to make this type of money to walk away. But what goes on in these guys' minds when even with all the money? What are they thinking about when they don't? Is it something mental or is it emotional? How do coaches take that when they're fired, even though they get a big parting gift?
They take it really hard because they're not looking at it from the perspective of an average man. And what I mean by that is, even when you look at those buyouts, I mean, Brian Kelly and James Franklin were very rich men a long time ago, way before. Like, so even if the buyout never happens, every dude on that list has already made millions of dollars in this profession by the time you become the coach at LSU or Penn State. So I don't think the financial implications come into play as much as those guys love to coach and they love to win. And as coaches, you know, they failed to reach what their goals are. And I think that's really what it comes down to. Because when they started coaching and they got into coaching, they wasn't making $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, they were GAN or coaching Division II or whatever. The sport has just grown to where coaches get paid like that. So there still is a sadness for getting fired. There's an embarrassment that comes with it for you and your family. Now, does getting $50-60 million to walk away, does it make you feel better? Let me just say this. You're not as sad as long as you would be if you didn't have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Hey.
Coach, you know, what you said at the top, man, really matters because you not only have a SEC culture at each location within the SEC, you have a different subculture that they expect you to adhere to, identify with, and that's on top of winning or underneath winning. And there's a lot of when Kelly left Notre Dame that even before the first game was played, people didn't see it fitting. And when you look at the win-loss record, like you articulated, some people 8 wins is all you need, and some places 8 get you out. When you look at his win-loss record, he does not have a kind of record that says fire me. It just was not a record that matches that LSU fan base and booster base down there what they expect. And you see that's going to be the same thing whether it's a Florida or Florida State across the ripple effect of the South. I do want to pivot over to Auburn, Dukes, with you and Coach Reed, because so goes the quarterback, so goes the head coach. So much success for a team is built around the quarterback, and wins and losses are going to fall on the head of the quarterback or the coach. And when you look at what's taking place in Auburn right now, they got a QB dilemma of sorts, Dukes.
Yeah, well, you saw in Arkansas for Auburn to get off the schneid and not go 0-5 in the SEC after 2 back-to-back 0-4 seasons. They had to make a switch after a pick 6 in the second quarter. I was actually at that game. Arkansas was feeling really good at that time. Kanai Walker makes that interception, and Jackson Arnold is like, all right. I mean, he gets benched. He bring in Ashton Daniels, who's been a starter at Stanford. He had a great game with Eli Ayamanor a couple of years ago against Colorado. So now he's the backup at Auburn. He actually goes in, plays really well. And now you want to know who's the quarterback going to be. Hugh Freeze was non-committal after the game about who the quarterback will actually be. Deuce Knight, as you saw on screen, hasn't been included in any of that yet. So I'm wondering to see, is Deuce Knight your backup going into this week, or is Jackson Arnold your backup, or is Ashton Daniels your backup? I think it's going to be really important because right now, even after a win, all of the reports around Auburn are saying, multiple reporters saying that the seat is still very warm in Auburn and that it could be any week, especially with another poor offensive performance when you have a defense playing at elite level. And one of probably the best linebacker Auburn has seen statistically since Takeo Spikes and Xavier Debo Atkins. So you would hate to waste such a great defense this year with multiple first rounders on that defense with a putrid offense, and that's what you have. So at this point, who knows? I have no – Coach Reed, what are you hearing about Auburn's quarterback situation?
Man, what I do know, man, is that you've been having Hugh Freeze in the chokehold for about 10 days now. I've been watching you. I meant to – listen, I meant to call you the other day and tell you pull up off Hugh a little bit, man. Pull up off Hugh. You've been on Hugh's bumper. But that being said, right, no different than anywhere else, Auburn expect to compete for national championships. And that has and Hugh Freeze has been paid a lot of money, and that hasn't happened, right? But I do believe I think Hugh is going I think Hugh gonna make it through the season. I do.
Yeah.
I do think that. I think Hugh is going to make it through the season. I think that at some point, with all of these openings, if you're an administrator, if you're a guy, you have to sit back because this is not a sustainable model for a lot of schools. And what I always ask ADs and search firms and different people when you go to firing a guy, who do you have in mind that you can hire?
There you go.
That would take that job and do a better job and have the resources now be for the new era been put in place for you to be successful consistently. And if they haven't, I think you need to address that prior to you addressing the coach, right? But it's like everything else, man. You coaching for your life, man. Like you got to win. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in the SEC, the Big Ten. I don't care if you're coaching in high school. I don't care if you're coaching a little league team. Go anywhere and keep losing, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Coach. And I hope I ain't cut you off, but let me ask you this, man. Is it worth that though to fire your coach who's winning 7, 8 games, 9 games? It's just not up to your standard though. Is it worth to fire him this early and pay out $50-some million, and you really don't have another guy that you're going to bring in that might be as accomplished as this coach right here? Like, what are you doing? Is it worth that?
I think it all depends on who you asking that question.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just a matter of who is in position to answer that. For me, if it was me, it would only depend on if I had identified another coach that I thought could right the ship, because a lot of it is just about fit. You can't tell me that Brian Kelly's not a good football coach. He's won too much.
Yeah.
He's just not a fit. He just wasn't the right fit
For LSU.
for LSU and the culture of the South.
Right.
He would have been fine in the Big Ten. He would have been fine, at a handful of ACC schools that play in the northeastern part of the country. That's his wheelhouse, is who he is. But guys come down to the SEC and they get showed that it's different, right? But what you don't typically see, SEC guys trying to go to the Big Ten or trying to go to the West Coast like they comfortable that's the Southeast is their environment. So I think that you have to get the right fit for your school, for your culture, for your stakeholders, because you are going to have stakeholders that that have say so. People that spend the kind of money those guys spend, they typically have a say so.
Coach, that's where I'm gonna take it right there. Because one thing we got to keep in mind, whether it's stakeholders, ADs, or just university budgets, everybody don't look at $50 million the same way we look at it.
Yeah.
So you say, is it worth it, Chico? Like Coach said, you got to depend on who you're asking. I remember at Jackson State, I love college home, dear old college home. We had about $75,000 left on the joke, and we let him ride it out the year. Because it wasn't in the like, where we gonna get it from? But there are other places like 50 billion to be gone. And I've been a booster here 20, 30 years before we hired this guy, and I'm gonna be a booster here 20, 30 years after we hire the next guy. Man, 50 million ain't nothing.
Right.
I can't wait. I tell you this,
wait till we see them days
about knowing who's next. Like I pulled up on this chick. She said, "Ain't you got a girlfriend?" And I said, "Baby, I ain't never went shoe shopping barefoot."
Hey, one coach that left the SEC and betted on himself, as we cover.
Just because I'm looking for who's next don't mean I ain't got on some shoes right now. Don't worry about what I'm wearing. You need to be worried about what I'm finna wear.
He ain't lying.
You earned that one. You earned the he in line right there. So I had to give you one.
I like that one.
You earned that one. Hey man.
So Coach, I want to ask you real quick.
Chico lost.
So with Brian Kelly, with his experience,
Brian Kelly got fired on his birthday. Damn near. His birthday was on the 25th. I just want to put that out there.
Sound like he got fired on his birthday. For his birthday to me.
Yeah. No, you might see him in Magic City.
Man, Coach, I was going to ask you, with Brian Kelly being from the Northeast, there are some people that think that he may be a good candidate for the Penn State job. Do you think that Brian Kelly could be a fit at Penn State, or how do you see the Penn State job search going?
Well, a couple things. I heard from a really reliable source that they don't see Brian Kelly coaching anymore. That they think that he's going to retire and that he's going to be done. So I wouldn't say that. Names that I think would fit well at Penn State. Who this is who I would call if I was Penn State. I would make these guys tell me no. The job that Clark Lee is doing at Vanderbilt, I would make Clark Lee tell me no. Right? The job that Brent Key is doing at Georgia Tech, I would make Brent Key tell me no. And then I would have to, probably my first call would be to ask Kalen DeBoer, is he really happy in Coach Saban's shadow? Right? I got to ask him that. Like, those are the three calls that I would make if I was Penn State. Those are the three guys.
Coach DeBoer going to say, hell yeah, I'm good.
I don't know, Chico, because, again, not only that shadow, coming from the Pacific Northwest down to the South, from that cultural fit, from the expectation fit, that could be a nice, I'll holler at y'all.
Yeah, week one, it was rough. After that Florida State loss, my goodness.
They love him again right now, though.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Now.
Yeah.
It's almost like baby talking Turk. Hey, Turk, I'm going to call you a BITCH, but when I'm ready to play with you, then I'll call you. Like, I'm going to F with you when I F with you.
Right.
Like, that kind of thing weighs on the coach in that kind of environment when they're used to getting patted on the back even if they lose. Like, he was the man up there in Washington. Now, it wasn't no toilet tissue in the tree because they lost by 3 points.
Yeah. Nah.
I still feel like he's going to be fine in Alabama because once he gets to winning, they're going to love the hell out of him. They're not going to let him go. And
he's winning now.
Yeah, and once he feels that love and he reaches certain status and he does what he's supposed to do, they're not going to let him go, and he's not going to want to leave there. I think, I think that's the one place in college football that every coach or type of situation that every coach want to be in.
But Chico, understand what you just said, right? And make it 100% correct. That doesn't alter what Coach Reed is saying. If you're Penn State, you still make the call and let him tell you that.
Yeah, he got
Biggie said it best. I creep up from behind Like, look, I'm gonna whisper you. I see you look happy, but are you happy? Me and you talking.
Coach Reed,
Like
before we get out of
Alabama
here,
brought that wine, but Penn State get to creep up from behind. See what your interests are. Who you really want to be with. I like that, Coach Reed. That's if you Penn State, what do you got to lose?
What do you got to do? You got to show me.
Coach Reed, can you rank the openings? Best job. Let's
Well,
go top 3 if you had to rank them.
Number one, it depends on what kind of pressure you can handle, right? But if you got the skin, the thickness of the skin to deal with it, I would go LSU number one. Tradition, recruiting real estate, right? Then I think I would go Florida 2 and Penn State 3. And I think you can interchange Penn State and Florida, right?
Okay.
Like you could go, you could go 2 or 3, either or.
Okay.
But just know this: you better win. And 8-4 ain't winning, and 10-2 ain't winning, unless you win it all, right? So they're going to expect you to be in the playoffs in that Final Four consistently, right?
Yeah.
And so that's going to be what those programs expect.
Do you think it's any job that could get Dan? I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'm being a fan at this point. Do you think it's any job that could get Dan Lannon to leave Oregon?
Why would Dan Lannon leave Oregon? He got number one. Hey, you ever been to Oregon? You should go.
Okay.
Let me tell you this, Duke.
That's number one.
Oregon got a Martin Luther King Boulevard with a Mercedes-Benz dealership on it. Like Oregon is unreal environmentally.
Oh wow.
It don't look nothing like nowhere else.
In an era where money plays a factor, he might have the biggest checkbook.
You have got Nike.
Yep.
So I don't think I think in a normal era, going back to the SEC is probably makes sense. And then you got to also remember, even though Dan coached at Georgia and was a GA at Bama, he's not from the South. He's from Kansas City, Missouri, right? So he don't necessarily have the same pool, maybe, or allure to go down there. But I mean, he's been really, really happy at Oregon. In the conversations that we've had over the last couple of years, I've known him for a long time. I think he's a great guy. But from a standpoint of what he has at Oregon and what he has at his disposal and what he's been able to build and maintain there, I wouldn't foresee him going into that gauntlet.
Well, Coach, we're going to keep our eyes on it. And because, as you know, once one domino falls, it changes the other ones, particularly when you are currently ahead. Friends, let's say Lane leaves Ole Miss. That not only takes one of your top 3 off the board, it opens up Ole Miss. So when dominoes start to fall and parts start to move, it's going to be interesting. But we do know this. Kelly ain't the last coach to be fired before the season ends.
No, he ain't going to be. On a typical year, we have probably 20 openings. Last year, we had 9. I think this year we could have upwards of 40 when it's all said and done.
That's crazy.
So it can get real. It can get tricky.
Josh Gaddis, Jerry Neuheisel, Pete Golding, all hot names, assistant coaches in college football.
Where is Gaddis right now?
Where is he at? Is he?
I think he was at Maryland last year.
He was at Maryland. I don't know where he's at now.
Yeah. Is he?
Coach Carl Reed, while Chico figures that out, let me get a couple shout outs, man. One, thank you for always joining us on the morning run. We appreciate your insight, your professionalism, and just your true brotherhood. And again, man, happy birthday to you. And speaking of well wishes, also want to give a well wishes shout out, thinking of you, prayers up for you to everyone on the island of Jamaica. And those are Ken people. And they've been going through a slow moving Category 5 storm. The storm right now is predicted to actually be moving slower than the pace of a person walking. So it's going to sit over over Jamaica for a while. You can expect lots of damage, man, even loss of life. So prayers to the people of Jamaica. Bo, bo, bo. Prayers to my man, Ken Carl Reed, on his birthday. And Chico, we hope you get to feeling better too, bro.
Appreciate it.
Chico, stay out the massage parlors up there, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Is that the place that Uncle
was in
Neely
the
texts
hospital
me
in
talking about?
December at the massage parlor.
Hey,
Oh, man.
Coach Reed, that's the place Coach Uncle Neely said he wanted to go as soon as he come here. Take me to the massage parlor. I'm like,
Yeah,
what's
but I'm
going
gonna
on
wear a
here?
mask. You in there touching stuff, ain't washing your hands, licking stuff that ain't supposed to be licked.
Hey man, prayers up for Jamrock. How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Keep Neely out of those massage parlors. Hey, Coach Reed, thank you very much once again for joining us, man. We'll have you on again. We appreciate all your great insight, and good to have a state champion and a former coach and offensive lineman on this thing that has great connections in college football. Unc, you got something else to say?
Yeah, TMR be back tomorrow, of course, and Coach Prime's weekly presser, as well as a couple of players. So we'll be bringing that to you. So make sure you tune in to TMR and hear directly from the man himself.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
All right, Coach.
Happy birthday too, boy.
Happy damn birthday. Y'all put a happy birthday in the chat right now for Coach Carl Reed.
And put a get well, Chico. Hope you feel better. I wish I saw who it was, man. But to the person who said, Chico, are you still tied up? That was brilliant.
That's good.
Well, I kind of laughed at that too. It was all right. But,
It was all right.
I love the way you laughed about shoe shopping barefoot.
Yeah, that was all right. 1, 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Chico, like that. Yeah, whooped you last night, boy.
You
Yeah.
put that thing on Chico, man.
But when
my birthday early. My birthday Wednesday. I'm going out tonight.
Cause it ain't congestion. Well, that's yak. I seen it before. That's yak.
He said I seen it before.
Yeah, I know that.
He got
that.
that.
Man, it's your birthday, man. You know. All right, no way.
Yeah.
I was just up late. That's all.
Yeah, all right.
Watching Wilding Out. That's all. Doing some good wholesome.
Oh, you wilding out of it.
You gotta get some of that bio light.
What's that, like some stuff you take after a hangover or something?
Yeah.
Eat you some Vicks.
Or just get the Pedialyte.
Let me ask y'all this. Did y'all eat Vicks when y'all were little? Did y'all grandma put you on that when you got sick? Look at Duke's face. It's not me, Dukes. I didn't eat the Vicks.
I didn't either, Dukes.
Okay.
But I co-hostess Arlie Michelle, she admitted last night her great grandma used to give her a spoonful of Vicks. I was like, for your chest, right? Like, no, we ate it.
Hell no. Hell.
Chico, go eat you some Vicks, man.
Man.
I had to go eat me some Okinawan sweet potatoes and a nice hard. I'm not gonna say hard boiled egg. I'm just gonna say boiled egg. That's what I'm gonna go eat.
Hey, y'all check the private chat.
I don't see anything in the private chat unless you're just trying to put something in there now.
Excuse the typo. It was
Hey man, I don't even know what that is right there, Dukes.
Yeah.
But if y'all haven't already, Unc and Dukes, can y'all let them know where they can go if they want to do some bets on the game? You know, whether it's over, unders, things of that nature. I think Uncle Neil got up out of here. Dukes, can you give us a little update if you got something on
mybookie.ag? Go to mybookie.ag, sign up, promo code TMR. Bet, win, get paid. And they do pay. You just got to win.
I like that. Anybody you betting with this week? You know?
Oh, shoot, man. I tell you what, I'm trying to get my money back with Colorado, man.
Damn.
Yeah. I just bet the money line, so the bet wasn't too crazy. The risk versus the reward, but I'm trying to get my money back. I believe still. I'm gonna put a little something back on Colorado versus Arizona, man.
Before I ask a question, let me make this statement. Dukes will ask a question during the conversation during the show. At a damn near stump. At any part of the show, you gonna ask a question that'll stump somebody.
For real?
Yeah. Like, look it up too, Dukes, and help us out. Don't just ask us.
Oh, I did. Nah, but see,
Did you get the answer? Did you get the answer?
No,
I
it looked
did.
like you was looking at Gaddis.
I was looking at a list, but it didn't have the team on there. You know, the other information. So I was like, damn. It was funny though.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah. I
ask,
mean, I ain't
let,
know. I was
let-
asked. I was like, my bad. But no,
let me
I
ask
think,
this though. Let me ask this.
but I looked it up. He an offensive analyst at Syracuse.
There you go. Because they didn't even have it on here. Let me ask you this though.
That's an old list too.
Let me ask yeah, that what it was. Let me ask the chat this. Is it that time of the show? Is it that time of the show? Is it that time of the show? Yeah, it's that time of the show. Nah, you know what? We're gonna cut it off. We ain't gonna do it today, Dukes. I gotta go. And I think you gotta go too. So we ain't gonna have that time of the show today and take them a little bit after the morning run. But if y'all want to bet and win, y'all make sure y'all use promo code TMR once again. That is on mybookie.ag. Get on there and bet with us. You know?
And use
Get on
our
there and bet with
code
us.
TMR.
Use the code TMR. The hell you getting
And
on
go
there
check
for
out
and not
and
using
go
the
check
code?
out our content. We got great content on the Big Dog Chico channel and
Really
Duke's
though.
the Scoop channel. And then go look at all the shows on the pregame network.
Really though. And make sure y'all are hitting the playlist too. If y'all haven't hit a playlist and just let it run, then what you doing? What you doing? That's free. Y'all can do that for your dogs. You understand me? Shout out to Goonsville Clothing, where you can go on there and use our code TMR20 and get 20% off of the black and gold Goonsville hoodie. You feel me?
Man,
Right.
hey, we got to start back paying student loans.
No comment on camera. No comment on camera. Ask me off camera, Dukes.
I just got an email say, "Hey man, oh man,
What is it, amen? What is it?
I just got an email. I'm like, wow, man.
I'm thinking you looking at the news or something. You
I'm
got an
looking at
actual
the
email.
I'm looking at the email. Hey, Dan, Danny, hey, 007 appreciate. I didn't know what a Hobbit was, man. My bad.
And I was going to ask you that earlier in the show too.
What?
You know what a doozy is, but you don't know what a hobbit is.
I mean, clearly, I ain't watched the movie. I mean, they said it's from the Lord of the Rings. I never watched one.
I never watched Lord of the Rings. I'm not a fan of it, but I was like, I know what a hobbit is.
What's a Hobbit?
It's just one of those little people that you see on there, like a little person, almost like a.
What they look like?
I'm not gonna say what it looked like, but you know, just I'll say person.
You don't know what it look. How you gonna wait? Why you gonna say you don't know what it? Why?
Just a little person, because they were saying we first of all we look small next to Unc, because they were saying Unc was in the camera and both of us was looking small on camera.
Man,
so we
I
looked
didn't.
like hobbits.
But how would I
compared to
know?
him.
But how would I know?
Same. I don't know. How would I know what a doozy is? Hey,
I mean,
man.
I ain't know like you ain't know.
Exactly. Hey, it happens, right?
Man,
But you gave me a hard time about that doozy, though. Y'all
I
gave
did.
me
What?
the whole.
I gave you
Everybody
no
gave me a
hard
hard time.
I'm telling you what I gave you a hard time about. Hey man, so look, let me tell you what I gave you.
What, dude?
Pause. Man, how Chico go come check my pockets the other night on his channel. I go on Chico channel. I wish Unc was here. We on the live stream. Chico go talking about, oh yeah, y'all need to come get these super chats like Dukes be having. I was like, whoa,
No.
whoa, whoa,
Oh my God.
whoa, sir, whoa. Yeah, Chico was like,
I said, get over here and support me with the super chats. What kind of like Duke? What I said, like Dukes be getting the super chats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
what's wrong with that?
Like, whoa, sir.
What's wrong? That's a good thing,
How you know I'm getting super chats,
bro. That's a good thing, right?
You don't know if I ain't getting none the night before.
Because what I do is, as a supportive brother, cousin, family, I put y'all content on and let it ride on my TV. And I walk in the kitchen. Sometimes I hear it on, and you know, I saw Dukes against the super chats. That's all. Nah. How was that sneaky? Y'all lame as hell. Did he?
Man, Chico, man, look, they ain't gonna go back and tell.
Wait, what's wreal with me saying that? That's real. I didn't say
man, you are.
I didn't say. I'm talking about the chat, but I didn't say. Y'all send me 10 super chats like y'all sent Dukes. I just says super chats. Come on, dog. And then last time, and then when Duke,
somebody sent a super chat. He said, "Now look. This is what happened. Somebody sent a super chat, and he said, "Nah, y'all need to send me one of them big ones like y'all send Dukes." That what you said. Pause. You did.
That's real. That's a big pause.
But that what you said.
That's crazy.
You said,
think
yeah,
I
we
was-
like the kind that jingle, but we like the kind.
Oh yeah, I said that. I said no. I said I said we would like to get the kind that folds, but I don't mind the kind that jingles. That's what I said.
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
did. Yeah, this boy is crazy.
Hey, y'all wild, dog.
Yeah.
Y'all
And
think
then
things
look,
Chico say so crazy. It's unbelievable. Dog. It's unbelievable. I gotta watch what I say on here, dog.
it was your
Five
channel.
star, 5-star Illinois. That's what I said. Yeah, I know what I said, but y'all gotta realize why I said it. Duke's trying to make it seem like it was something else.
Now I'm gonna tell you what it is. He's saying why I'm not gonna get paid. You're like, nah, bro, you already got your money. It's time for my. That's why we not getting paid.
Whatever, man. Some of y'all, hey man. Some of y'all be saying some stuff. I be like, what?
But it's all good. I ain't tripping. Cause we cousins.
No, there is nothing to trip about. Say that and stop making it seem like there is something to trip about. Chat and Duke and Unc.
Man, you ain't gonna.
Wow, dog.
Hey man, you ain't.
Just wait. You know what? Just wait. Y'all gonna have to apologize to me, dog. Watch.
You gonna threaten me?
No, y'all gonna have to apologize. It like Birdman said. Say, bro. And now y'all somebody safe to play with.
And I ain't gonna say it no more.
Hey, I feel sorry for real quick before we go. I feel sorry for the funny salesman. You know the funny salesman, right?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him last night when Birdman went off on him.
Oh, he had a Birdman.
Yeah, that's who Birdman went off on. It's been going viral. Bird was walking out of the verses, and the funny salesman tried to come up to him and do his little bit with the spray on the shoes and stuff, clean it off. He didn't even get close to Birdman. Birdman was like, "Nah, dog, stay over there. Find you somebody to play with." Bird wasn't with it for some reason, and it panned back to the funny salesman's face, and he had one of those looks on, the embarrassing look, like, "Damn, dog, I was just trying to come up and get some content, and you doing me like, damn, that fake smile, like."
Hey, but you know what's crazy? That's part of it though. When you include people in your content because of who they are, that's kind of crazy. It is a little, you know what I'm saying? You can't just walk up on people in their personal space. You feel me?
Bro.
Like, you really just can't. Like, Chico, like, what's gonna happen? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say prime example. I got it on tape too somewhere. Gucci Man in front of Kamal's 21 back in the day. I don't even know if Kamal's still open. Is it?
Platinum 21.
Okay, it's changed the name. Somebody probably got shot and they changed the name.
I think it was platinum. Then it was platinum Kamal's, and then went back to platinum.
Okay, so that show you my timeline, whatever that was.
Yeah.
When Gucci had the yellow Lambo, right? Outside the club, or was it a Ferrari? I think it was Lambo. But Gucci pull up.
This round like maybe 09, 10, 2010, somewhere in there.
Gotta be. I think I came home in 2010.
Yeah,
so
somewhere in there.
10 to 12.
I'm just saying when Kamal's was the name. I don't remember when Gucci had the car, but I remember when Kamal's was the name.
Okay.
And
I see Gucci over there. He just get out the car, pull up a whole entourage, and he's standing outside the car in the driver, doorway with the door open, and a bunch of guys coming up to him and girls, and he passing out money. And it's almost like you passing out to your homies before they go in the club and stuff, right? So I'm a videographer. I got this big ass camera with me at the time. So I'm walking up to him, and I'm like, I'm about to get a drop from Gucci. Is what I'm thinking.
You better figure drop by Gucci.
Exactly. Or one of his little homies or some who want to prove to themselves, to Gucci, that they bout something. So I walk over there to him as I'm walking, and I'm about to hold the camera up, but the mug's so big, and it's almost like slow motion. I'm thinking about this as I'm doing it. And I'm like, damn, if I pull this camera up, it could look like something, So I said, forget that. I just walk with it in my hand, and I said, yo, Gooch. And he looked at me, like, dead at me, like, what's up? Like, you about to say something? I'm like, yeah. So as I'm about to say, yo, can I get this interview, right? One of his little homies or whoever jumped in front of me, was like, nah, he don't want to do no interviews. And then at that moment, Gucci took his attention from me and went back to passing out the money. At that moment, I have to make a decision. Do I try to force it and say, or, get by the little fella and be like, no, Gucci, I want to. No. you have to make a conscious, informed decision right there. And you say, you know what, that drop ain't worth having to fight little fella and whoever else over here who want to prove themselves to Gucci, because they literally getting money from him right now, so they'll do whatever. And I turned around, took about 10, 20 steps back. I said, I'll film from here. And that was it. You just can't run up on folks like that, dog, and
No, you
think that it's
can't,
gonna be all sweet because you got a camera or you have an agenda. You feel me?
man. Especially now, like it's people almost playing too much. Like you almost got to talk to somebody because, bro, I would be scared now because like now they got open care. Man, somebody will bust you legally and be like, I was afraid for my life. What?
Yep.
Say you what? Free kill?
Run
What
up,
they call it? Like,
yeah,
nah,
run
bro.
up on people talking about a prank.
It's a hard job, and you know what, man? It's part of the clout era. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? For somebody who does social media content and we make content ourselves, like we're content creators, to be honest. But man, shoot, man, somebody, hey man, I wish. Yeah, somebody seen you to the upper room because you was trying to get content. You feel me? And it's going,
That's content
and
for
I
your
hate to
ass.
say it, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It probably has happened before, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
for
gonna
sure.
happen. But I just
Yep.
had to put that out there, dog. That just brought me back
Hey
to
man, but
Atlanta
guess what?
and
If
those
you run
film
into
days.
if you run into Gucci now, he'll probably apologize.
All those people probably won't be around him either, though, because
Yeah, a
like I
lot of them
said,
go.
he looked at me and it was almost like he was gonna be receptive to what I said, but little buddy jumped in and was like, "No," you know what I mean? And that could have been right there a fight or anything. So I was like, "Man, let me just let's get away from it. It ain't that
Yeah.
important."
I mean, and you got to respect the fact of people not wanting to do interviews. Like
Yeah,
sometimes, like the older I got, I would always think that if you see somebody who's famous, that was an automatic. They were. But sometimes people don't want to be famous in that time.
mm-mm.
And if you with
Damn right.
somebody famous and somebody walking up, then you see it on both sides. So I had a partner. I would be like that. Somebody would ask for an autograph, and we would just be kicking it. I'd be like, I'd try to go talk to the person for it. Be like, man, give me the stuff, and now I go.
Man,
Yeah.
so true, dog.
Hey, speaking of famous partners, bro, what's up with Ray J?
Before we go to Ray J, let me go to Roddy right quick. One time, Roddy, his first Pro Bowl was out here in Hawaii, right? He came out here, brought a couple teammates, our college teammates came out here, and Roddy was walking through like the hotel area, and everybody, Roddy, can we get an autograph? Roddy, give me an autograph. And Roddy had told us before we went out, bro, I don't want to sign no autographs. I just want to go hang out. And so by the third person that asked him, it was almost like I just turned into the bodyguard, and I'm walking like this now, and I'm like, nah, he good, he good. Because I'm thinking to myself, he's saying no, but these are still fans. They might take it as he's been a hole or whatever, and not fans anymore. So instead of him being that, I was that. I was the no guy. And same way with the Gucci situation. You know what I mean? It's always need to be someone around if they're going to be respectful and do it, to kind of be that buffer and that barrier for the superstar and the fans or the overzealous fans or whoever who think that they're entitled to an autograph or a picture.
Now that's crazy you said, but you see how tables can turn, right? Because at one
Exactly.
point, now think about this. Now this is another thing too, because when you had that camera and you like, man, I ain't know if it was worth it. What if you'd have been drinking, or what if you'd have felt like it was worth it and you would have tried? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That could have been you on the other side.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
real bad.
yeah, you just be cool. Like in Atlanta, everybody think they famous anyway. So we all think we famous some kind of way.
So a lot of times in Atlanta, they'll see a superstar and be like, nigga, that's such and such, but I'm me. And that's Atlanta right there for you.
Yeah. Like for real, be like, oh yeah, man, I know Buddy, man. Yeah.
Buddy with
around the way.
With the
What's
banner.
up, Buddy?
I know him.
What's up? Yeah, you got to hit him with that one.
Yeah. Well, you asked me about Ray J.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Ray, every time Ray J dance, it's like he get like he got this old man that I like. But being an I wonder, like, have you seen the difference in Ray J from when he was younger, or is this who Ray J always been?
All I'm gonna say is this, man. Ray J super smart. If anything, the Ray J y'all saw during the Ray J y'all saw during a certain era was probably more not Ray J than what y'all are seeing now. Or if y'all would have known him before any famous-ish, he was Ray J.
So you've been
All
knowing him since he was movie star blood.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna say that, read between the lines and just know that Ray J is just being Ray J. And he's smarter than a lot of what people think. And he don't mind doing certain things and having an opinion about him if he knows that that's not what it is. So if I know I don't like the color red, and y'all see me wearing red and y'all gonna talk about me, he said he don't like red, but he wearing red, that's fine with Ray J because he know whether he like red or not. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to say he dancing funny or he said he wanted to get in the shower with Kyson out in them. Technically, that's what they did. They went in the shower, quote unquote, together, but they wasn't showering together. So it's how you listen, how you say things, and how people take it. You know what I mean?
I got that. That's what you be doing.
Hey,
I knew it. See, now I tell everybody this all the time. Now, some of it is a joke. Some of it he really is freaky. But Chico,
yeah, of course,
is just playing the role. Like, yeah, he said, yeah, of course, yeah, I know. He said, yeah, of course, right, yeah. But I mean, that's yeah, Chico.
That's all, man. Just think about it, man. This is all. This is all a game, so to speak. It is just how far you want to play the game. You know what I mean? How far y'all want to play the game? I'm talking about life too now.
Yeah, man. I don't want to play the game no more, man. I'm out. Man. I'm out.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for tuning in. The Morning Run, TMR. This has been After Hours with Dukes and Chico. This is
regular hours. I have never been to an After Hours with Chico.
Damn. See what I'm saying? Look at that. So that means, okay, you know what?
You got to tell Chico no.
Hey, man. I also saw a report.
Hey, land the plane, where?
I was just gonna say I also saw a report that saying that Kim Kardashian might have an aneurysm based off of some stuff that Kanye did, but that could have been just troll news. But if it is true, hey man, prayers up to her and her family. Hopefully she's healthy and well and all that other stuff, stress free. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Hit the like, subscribe, comment. Let us know in the chat where you represent from and what y'all got going on. It is my birthday on Wednesday, so y'all make sure y'all come in here and do the Tootsie Roll and Butterfly and all the other stuff that's yeah. All right. He's in the Middle East.
Boy, crazy.
Yeah. You bitch not EU.
Why you gotta talk to him bad before you leave?
Yeah, he's in the Middle East.
Nah, boy, you say you biz not EU.
Yeah, that's for the ones out there.
Oh,
I'm surprised you caught, well, I ain't surprised you caught that, but a lot of people don't even know.
Hey, man. All right, let's go, man. All right.
Peace.